Meeks. I didn't give you a proper introduction last time, so we're gonna give you a proper one this time. Can you hit that? Close that door for me. So we're gonna give you a proper one this time. I'm gonna sing to you this time.
No, please.
No. Let me sing to you. Let me sing to you.
No, thank you.
Let me sing
to
you.
No, please don't do it.
Come on, man.
No.
I was finna blow, boy. You messed it up.
Different introduction, please.
Alright, Tierra Meeks, I'm so glad for you to come back with me. Thank you, Queen. The beautiful, notorious, most charismatic, most intellectual, most
thank you,
sexiest, most.
Thank you. I appreciate all those kind words.
I'm running out of words. I don't even know what else to say.
Yeah.
But I appreciate you coming on again, Queen. Thank you so much. I know last time you gave me a hard time and I gave you the right introduction, so I just, Right. But anyways, how are you doing?
I am well. How are you?
I am great. I'm alright. This sciatic nerve is killing me, man. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but it's hurting. It's really hindering my mobility.
I know.
It ain't. But I'm good though. I'm good.
Okay. You're used to man. Doing that, it opened my eyes even more to the statistics of homelessness, and just it made me feel good because when I met these people, their spirits were still lifted up. You know, they were still happy. They fortunately I didn't experience anyone acting or being violent.
Right.
This past Sunday in the Lower Walker Drive, we did experience this one guy who you can tell that he's really suffering from mental illness. But other than that, the experience meeting these people and talking to them and helping them out, most of them, they depend on that meal. Like I said, he does this every Sunday, so a lot of them, they know around the time he does it, and their faces lit up, you know, when they see his truck. So that inspired me even more to really just get through, you know, do my event, go out and just spread love and help everyone out, and just keep doing it because they need it. Unfortunately, our city isn't doing right by them.
That's true.
The city of Chicago has removed at least two camps that I know of. One, which was kind of big, the Uptown Tent City, right on Lakeshore Drive. They was, I guess, doing work under the viaduct, and they kick people out. It's kind of like they're trying to hide the reality that it is a lot of homeless, unsheltered homeless people in the city of Chicago. Just recently, over the summer, they removed a camp that was in the Lower Walker Drive and what they call the Triangle. They and the guy Mugdilla, who I've been doing the Subway sandwiches with, he said that he was down there, you know, around the time that they did that, and the police were basically locking people up because they were homeless.
Are you serious?
Yeah, so I mean, it's not right, it's not fair. I don't believe as a citizen, a U.S. citizen, no one should be homeless. You know, a lot of them are veterans.
The vast majority of them are.
Yeah. Some of them are drug use, but I know a lot of people have this mentality that all homeless people are drugs. Oh, don't feed them. Don't give them money because they're gonna just use it for drugs. No, I mean some might. A lot of them are honest though, and that's what I've seen being out there on Sundays. They're honest. You get them food, they'll tell you like, oh no, you already gave them one. Like, they're honest. So, and then some, they ask you for money, they even have on their signs nowadays, like, I need marijuana, or I need a drink or a bail, whatever. But if you really think about it, just going back to the story of my Uncle Scooty, you know, a lot of them end up, you know, turning to that stuff because it helps to escape their reality.
Yeah, it's like a coping mechanism.
Right. So, you know, at first I was I did have that same mentality as a lot of people do, but working at I worked at UIC hospital, so there I deal with a lot of homeless people, most men, some you have a few women, but they all need love.
Which we all do.
We all do.
Exactly. I mean, they're humans, you know, they get treated like...
And they get treated worse just because they're homeless, or to top it off, they're mentally ill, a lot of them. Like, you can see, go downtown, walk downtown, you will see, you know, just a lot of people that are mentally ill. Mm-hmm. Because they can't afford the medications. They don't have, you know, the insurance. They don't have the resources. Like, no one's out here trying to really help them.
I think, the lack of health care, I think the lack of health care, period, contributes to a lot of mental illnesses. To me personally, that's how I feel. But
and then a lot of them, they can go out and get jobs, but, I mean, think about it. A lot of them, how the city does it, if they see food, like for Sunday, we had met another group who were handing out hot food trays, and they was like, oh, because they weren't at their, you know, camp, at their tent, so the one guy had to actually hide their food, because if the city rolled past and saw the plate, which it was covered, so if the city PD, if they would have rolled up and saw the plate, they would have just confiscated or thrown it out. It's like, you know, so these people...
If they see them feeding them, they are just confiscated?
No, they won't do it. They'll do it after, you know, after the people leave. They'll just come and, you know, harass them and stuff like that. They will... Sometimes if they're... Say, for instance, if you do have someone who has to go to a job interview or go to interview to get housing, the police can come up and throw away their stuff, their tents, their belongings, all that stuff. So that's why a lot of people do it, where it's at least one person stays behind to watch their belongings, and then a other person goes out to find a job or goes out to beg, you know, for change close by, so that they can keep an eye out on their belongings. So, I mean, when you driving and you see those people by the expressways with their signs, they're not too far from where they live. It was just in their tent.
All right, that shit is sad.
Because they have to keep an eye out, because that's how dirty the city is. So it just really angered me when I heard these stories and when I heard their harsh reality.
Right.
It's like you just make it harder. I mean, you know, they can't, and a lot of them are homeless because they can't afford the housing.
Yeah, food and shelter, yeah.
I mean, and I remember when I was working at the hospital, this one lady, I mean, she didn't look homeless, but she was. She came in the hospital, she would go in there, sleep, because again, these shelters aren't good. From word on the street, like, I can't really say too much because I haven't went in one, I haven't lived in one, and I haven't volunteered in one, but I know you volunteering and living in one is two different experiences. Yeah. But of course, the closest one around the South Loop in the URC area is Pacific Garden. A few people say they don't wish their worst enemy to go in there. So, and then when I was
that's a shelter.
Yeah, that's a shelter. That's one of like the biggest shelters I know, or I believe. One of the guys who worked at the shelters, they have these rules, basically, of course, that people have to abide by. If you was to get into an altercation, then you kicked out. And then a lot of people are mentally ill or on drugs. They're gonna steal, they're gonna take because they need, right? So that's ultimately gonna cause you to get into some type of altercation. Even if you wasn't the person who started it, but then you get kicked out and you can't come back. So that's why a lot of people are on the streets. Like yesterday when I was downtown and I saw this one guy who was laying down on the ground, didn't have nothing, he was just laying on the ground asleep. And I gave him the Subway sandwich, and this one guy who was walking by, he wasn't homeless or anything, he was just like, oh, I can't do it, I don't know how they do it, I'd rather go sleep in a shelter than to sleep on the ground. I just looked at him and I was just like, man, if you only knew.
And this was another person that was homeless?
No, he wasn't homeless.
This is just
the one who said that. Like
the one who said it was just a regular pedestrian.
Yeah, he was just a regular pedestrian. So I was just like, man, you know, a lot of people just don't understand. So I mean, that's my mission too, just to let people know, to show people. I looked up some statistics, and just alone in Chicago, unsheltered adults is 1,561 people. Just in Chicago, unsheltered adults, not in families. And families, it says it was at least 10,000 families last year, but between last year and this year, 17,894 were homeless students in the Chicago public school system.
8,000. Say that number again.
17,894 were Chicago public school homeless students, which most of them were living doubled up. So, you know, of course, living with other families. 88%. And out of that amount, only 1,918 students were living in shelters. And 98% of the kids, just the kids alone, 98% were black.
98% of African American.
Yes.
Out of 17,000.
Mm-hmm.
And those are CPS students.
Yes. CPS. School year 2017 and 2018. That was their statistics that they.
So from last year, you had 17,000 students that were homeless.
Yep.
And damn near all of them are black.
Yeah.
That's a crazy number.
It is. Real crazy number.
That I didn't even know that. That's crazy.
Yeah. So man, that cities, you just gotta do better. You really do. You never know like what people are going through. You never know. Especially you know, these kids.
But that's why I feel like this. I know Chicago public schools, they have I know at one point they had the free lunch program. I want to know, do they still have it? I'm gonna have to ask around.
They
they had the free lunch and then they had the reduced lunch. I know they had it when I was in school. I think it was, depending off like the income or whatever in the household that year you were like subject to meet those requirements like reduce, free. So I'm trying. I wonder. I had to ask around. Actually, they still. I had to Google that. Actually, they still have that program though, because that number that's crazy, man. And these are younger kids that are end up as adults, and then just have no guidance,
especially with what's going on these days. I mean, you see all these killings on the news. A lot of these kids are teenagers, just babies. You have 12, 13, 14-year-olds. Like, a lot of the stuff that they're doing now, I wasn't even thinking about doing when I was their age. So, it's just all survival, I guess. And lack of mentorship, too.
Yeah, I mean, lack of guidance, lack of, a lot of that goes to no father being at home. A lot of things. A lot of the things come from, them being in a household where, like I say, don't have two parents. I know a lot of, like, growing up, I know a lot of kids, especially
that's what they said. A lot of those families is majority are with women.
Yeah.
Single family homes, and usually the woman is the average 32-year-old.
Yeah, broken homes. It's usually the parents or the mother or whatever.
And they said most of the kids, the age is 10 to 14 that are in the shelters. Ages 10 through 14 with their families.
That's what leads to depression. Leads to like I said, to drug habits, to other kids being a very a large influence on you at an early age, because you have no guidance. Like all that factors in mental illness and homelessness. And
ultimately.
And it's sad. That number is crazy though. Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're out here and you're making an impact. Not only because that's the type of woman you are, but also because of how you seen it firsthand on how it affected, a family member.
Right.
Even though you were young, but now, you seen how growing up, you just seen how, okay, wow, like how many other people out here like this.
It's like I just started to see, because a part of me wanted to forget that, because that wasn't a good feeling, especially as a kid, seeing somebody that you really love going through that. So I kind of forgot that, which is why I gained that mentality like everyone else have, like, all homeless, all they lazy, or they all on drugs, whatever. And it's like, just working at the hospital, something came back to me. It's like I remembered my Uncle Scooty. It's like, how could you forget him, So it's like every male that I seen, it was, man, that was my uncle. So I was just like, I gotta help him.
That's dope though. But that's dope for you to, not turn a blind eye to it. And as you grew older, you became more aware of what was going on and wanted to make a change. That's dope. I'm proud of you, man. Keep it up.
Thank you.
Keep it up. But that's good, and I hope over the next year, I know next year is going to be better than, every year I guess it's going to get better.
Yeah, that's the goal.
So, but this year is better than last year.
It is.
And then next year will be better than this year, and so forth and so on. So every year you get better.
Yeah, I definitely want to help the community. Like, my ultimate goal is to build a good shelter that will have the kind of like a resource center and like housing, you know, because like I said, I just don't believe anyone should be homeless out there on the streets. I mean, I know
nobody
I
should
wouldn't
be
be
homeless
able
when we
to
have
do that.
like $2.5 billion jackpot.
Right.
Mega Million. What is that? Mega Million Jack? Is this the Mega Million? Mega Pot? I don't know what it is.
I don't play that.
I don't play lottery enough
But,
to know. But
I mean, that money could go towards, you know, the homeless. So.
That's
and then it's like, what really irks me is the veterans. Like, these people risk their lives for this country.
Vast majority of homeless people are veterans.
Only for them to just
come back
and it's like, F you.
There's no infrastructure.
Like, oh, thank you.
Yeah.
By the way, but oh well.
No health care, no benefits, no nothing. You just come back and you asked out. You know, a lot of them come back with PTSD. That's what a lot of them, you know, just
because they seen a lot.
That shit is trauma. That even the Chicago public school students who you just named, the 17,000 of them, out of 17,000, 98% are black. Out of those,
food, whatever it is that they need, probably every Sunday in the summertime, just to show them, like, you know, we care. You know, somebody cares about you. So
we care. That's a. I like that. We care. That's dope.
Yeah, that is.
We care. So with this program, well, with your charitable event, comes your own nonprofit, right?
Of course, that's the goal.
What's we're gonna speak that to the universe. What's the name? What's gonna be the name? You know. Uncle. What's it? Uncle Scooty Foundation? Most
likely, Uncle Scooty.
Scooty's Foundation.
That's who I knew him as. So Uncle Scooty. Everybody else would know.
Uncle Scooty. Uncle Scooty. You should name your dog Uncle Scooty.
Bro.
That's dope.
Don't start with me, okay?
I'm just saying, the dog. Hey, Scooty, Pee-wee.
Nah, that's King.
That's not Pee-wee. But anyways. Yeah, I'm definitely excited to see these this turnaround for charitable project that you got going on. I'm glad that you like you got with other people too that's doing the same thing. Kind of taking you know.
I know I can't do it by myself, so it's good to see that it is other people out there doing it, and my hope is that we come together and together we're stronger, so we can work together and, you know, help these people out.
That's true. I'm glad, man. I'm already knowing.
Oh, and shout out to Inglewood Barbie on Instagram @Inglewood Barbie. You guys go look her up. She feeds the homeless daily, and she does it for the winter months. I think she started. I want to say she started in maybe October somewhere. I'm not really sure, but I do know she goes from the winter months up until April. I believe April 20th. And she goes on 51st and Wentworth at I believe at about 10:30 at night, and she feeds the homeless people that sleeps in the shelter. Then she doesn't like to refer to them as the homeless. They're the friends. So she goes and she feeds the friends every night with a hot home cooked meal, fruit, whatever, and she showers them with love. So
that's dope.
Yeah, if y'all can, please go out there, support her, support at Mugdilla, and support me. Come out November 18th with me.
What's your give me your outlets.
Well, I'll tag everything in the description. So, but you can follow me. I'm on Instagram at Tierra Shanae _, and from there you'll be able to click the link and read more about the event.
And you are how much do you need?
I am short $110.
And you need everybody to donate how much?
Whatever they can. If you can donate $5, if you can donate $10, whatever you can to get me to reach my goal. I really appreciate it. And you know, the people that we're gonna be caring for, and I know they really appreciate it as well.
We got until the 18th, right?
Well, the event is the 18th, so at least definitely until the 16th, even though it's cutting it close, but definitely the 16th. That's the deadline for me.
Okay. I'm glad, man. Let's clap it up again for you. 'Cause I'm excited. Can't wait till you. Yeah, I can't wait till you get to that point where you have your own nonprofit. You're doing things not only for your city, but maybe outside the city. You start a big, like a worldwide foundation.
Yeah, I want to spread it everywhere. Because it's homeless everywhere. Everywhere.
Gotta think big about it. It is homeless everywhere, and it's.
I just hate seeing that. I really do.
Yeah, like I said, everybody, what was that? I can't forget that number. A couple weeks ago, everybody played. I know I did. Some billion dollars.
It was like some billion dollars. It was the mega millions.
Mega million, that what it is? Yeah, but
yep.
I mean, I'm glad to see this, transpire into something that's gonna be very, very good in the future.
Yeah,
and, making a difference. I also want to tell everybody, go vote tomorrow too.
Yes,
go vote
please.
For the midterm elections tomorrow.
Very
important that we all get out and let our voices be heard. It's also important that we go out and make a change. I know that just sounds so cliche, but it's gonna make a difference. And we are the difference.
Every vote counts.
Yeah, every vote does count, but we are the difference. Though we have to be able to get up and go out and go vote. I encourage everybody to go vote because everybody see what kind of trash ass, crazy shit we in right now. I can go on, but it's the state we in now as a nation is very sad. And I also want to. I don't see. This is another thing I don't want to do. I don't want to say prayers out to the victims in Senegal and Pittsburgh. Like, I don't want to do that. I hate.
Seems like it's happening.
Yeah, and the more and more we do, we just all pray. I hate that shit. Like, something has to be done, man. And these hate crimes and like. It's sad, man. A lot of times I get out of, I get so, I just run out of energy talking about it, but because we done seen it happen too many times before.
Because it's repetitive.
It is so repetitive, and it's something that's, it's so frustrating and draining at the end of the day. all I can say is, man, let's, but that's the rhetoric that 45 is spitting out there, though. Last week he called himself a nationalist, which everybody, everybody knows a nationalist. He's a nationalist. They got white nationalists and the white nationalist organization. A supremacist. Like, it just is. His whole rhetoric is racism and bigotry, man, and that ain't nothing new. We all seen that through the campaign, but not only he's amplifying the racists out there. Like, they're really coming out and
they're bold. They're being real bold.
Like they are, and it's, listen, man, go out and vote, man, for real. Just go vote, man. Polls. What time of polls? I know the polls open at 6.
They open early.
They open 6. I know a lot of them open at 6. I'll be there. And if you
don't know who to vote for, do your research. I mean, they have plenty of things. I think even when you go to the polls, they have people out there.
Yeah.
That has done research that will help you, to determine, your decision. But please just do it.
Yeah, it's very important, man. Like I said, go vote, man. Everybody go vote, and let's get up and make a change. Let's get into my segment, Choose Wisely, where Choose Wisely is a segment where people inbox me, DM, Facebook, Instagram, whatever the case is, me a few questions about life, relationships, etc., on basically just making them make the right choice, helping them to at least point them in the right direction, let's say. So we have a few. Tierra, can you read them off?
Well, let's start with question number 1.
Yeah, this is from Unanimous. She wants to remain unanimous, so we go. Is it you? Don't.
You said that all wrong.
What is it? Is it unanimous? Anonymous?
Boy, no.
What is it? I said unanimous. Damn.
Yeah, you put a whole you in it.
Damn, I said you. Like, unanimous decisions. Damn, boy, your ass goofy as. Nah, it's what is it?
You just said it.
A what?
Yeah.
Anonymous?
Yeah.
It's anonymous? It don't sound right. I feel like I'm saying. Anyway, just read it. Read it there.
Yeah. Don't curse at me.
Okay? Alright, just read it.
What's the point of an ex contacting you after they wanted no contact with you?
What's the point of an ex contacting you when what?
After they wanted no contact with you. I guess after they said, don't call me no more, I don't want to see you no more, I'm good, whatever. Like, why would they still contact you after they
A, they want some ass. B, they're in a state right now where they hit you up when it's convenient for them to.
Because you still answer.
Because you still give them the time of day.
Mm-hmm.
C, they still have feelings for you. And they might not. I mean, they still have. They can still have feelings for you.
Mm-hmm.
It's a possibility, but we just want to fuck. And this is not really. I'm just gonna keep it 100.
Because I feel like if they are mature enough, they would tell you the reason why they contacting you, and all that stuff. Yeah, they still in that.
But you still give them the time of day though, so.
Right. So.
Why? If they're ex?
Because they want to see if they changed.
They just want to fuck.
Okay, that's your final answer?
That's my final answer. I know I'm just saying that, you know, back in the day when I was a young tenderloin.
When you were
when I was a young thought, that's IMO.
Okay, that makes sense.
Alright, what's the next question?
Question number 2. Is it threatening for a woman to talk to her boyfriend about her ex-boyfriend?
Is it threatening for a woman to talk to her boyfriend about her ex-boyfriend?
Yes.
No, I don't think it's threatening. It depends on how you talk.
It depends on the. I really.
It depends on the content of the conversation too. Like if you're talking about him to make him jealous, then, you know, you trying to, oh, you know, well, he used to do this, and you don't do that. Yeah, if you're comparing the two, that's not good. But if it's like a conversation where it comes up, say for instance, like I know me and you've had conversations before where, you know, we'll bring up our ex, and not even in a comparison situation, where you might want to know, like, okay, well, why did you do that? You know, or, you know, what made you go about doing it that way, or, you know, stuff like that. No, I don't feel like that's
a growth level.
Yeah. I don't think that's, you know, a bad thing. As long as you don't do it to a point.
So I guess like as long as you're doing it to open up.
Yeah. It's. I mean,
as long as you're not malicious about it, then no.
As long as there's no wrong intent behind it.
Threatened.
He shouldn't be threatened. If he's, you know, also, him being threatened is be a sign of insecurity. But like I say, you know, don't nobody want to. I'm not gonna want to sit up and hear about you talk about your ex. Like, oh yeah, you know, we did.
Yeah, not all the time.
Like that's not.
That's not gonna be something we talk about
more and
all
more
day.
more and more you put out about the past.
It's seeming like you're not really over it.
You're not over that, so get over that. Whoever you are. Next question.
Okay. How important is it to be honest with your partner?
That's
very important.
Look, these are my 4 key things to a relationship. My 4. This is the foundation, just like the concrete. You got honesty, understanding. Understanding. Communication. Damn, what's the 4th one? I'm stuck. I just had it. Honesty, communication, understanding. Shoot. God darn it, Marquise.
Where's your notebook, man?
It's all.
Oh, okay.
Come on, I'm passing it on to you. Honesty, communication. Honesty, communication, understanding. That 4th one, I'm looking for it. I just had it though. I hate when I do it. What's one of you? What's one of your 4 keys? So I'm trying to look for mine. I just had it though.
Mine is about the same 3: honesty, communication, what I say? Honesty,
communication, understanding.
Yeah, understanding, and just.
We both on that 4th one. That's 4.
Right.
Stuck, huh? I just had it though. And you had something, you'd be like, "Ooh, that shit." I was gonna put it on Snap, like, "Oh, I'm just gonna kill it right there." And I don't even know the 4th one.
But it's very important to answer the question. I just feel like if you don't have honesty, you know, you really don't have a relationship.
Honesty goes without that goes without saying though. That's like the basic.
You should be able, like, if you feel like you have to lie to your partner, then you shouldn't even be in it.
Oh, reciprocity. There you go, boy. I knew you was gonna come with it. Don't clap. That's not funny. I knew. So it's it's understanding, honesty, communication, reciprocity. Is my four. That's like the foundation of a relationship. Mm-hmm. But yeah, honesty, that goes without saying though. That's like you shouldn't go into a relationship like, you gotta be honest with me.
Right.
Yeah, like if you gotta say that, then it's get out. You played yourself.
Leave.
You about to leave? Yeah, just go. So yeah, honesty is definitely, that goes without saying. That's like I say, man, that's like buying a car with no tires. Like you need that. Like that's something that you're not gonna, like, that's, yeah. Like, yeah, right. You need that. All right, next question.
All right. It says, should you tell your partner everything about yourself or keep it because bringing your past into the relationship might mess things up?
Should you tell everything about your partner or keep it to yourself because it might mess things up?
Should you tell your partner everything about you? Or should you just leave some things to yourself?
No, I mean, if your partner wants to get to know you emotionally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, then, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, then, I feel, yeah, you should want to tell your partner about you. Like
what? If they ask you something, then just be honest?
Yeah.
But what about just blatantly just telling them, like, everything? I know that can be hard for some people.
It can be hard for some people because some people don't know how to open up, about.
And then some people have experienced things in their past and they just want to leave it, in their past, and they don't like to talk about it.
Yeah, but you never, you have at one point you have to. At one point, you have to be able to talk about certain things about yourself that you feel like are gonna,
if it's gonna affect your relationship.
Yeah, like if I'm being passive aggressive, or if I know I have an anger problem, like these are things like that you have to. You know what? Listen, Tierra. I can get a little irrational at times, but I'm working on it. Bear with me. You know what I'm saying? Like you, like things like that. You gotta be able to communicate with your partner, because they might want to go in a relationship like, with the blind eye. Sometimes some people can see that, throughout talking to you and communication. But no, if your partner wants to know some things about you, or I think it's very important for y'all to communicate, on that, and definitely, at least come, me halfway on certain things like that. I think that's important.
Yeah. Both share a little, learn about each other. Be comfortable.
Yeah, definitely. What's another one?
So the last question?
Yeah, last question.
The last question is, I like how they worded this. It says, how important is it to have a season of singleness?
How important is it to be
a thought?
To be a thought. Are you a thought?
Right. How important is it to have your dating stage?
I don't downplay anybody that's being a thought. Cause
just say dating stage. Your dating stage.
I'm just saying, some women. But some women want to be
date.
They want to date, and they want to be in they want to have relationships with certain guys. I'm not against that. If that's something that you want to do, if you feel like you need to do that in order to,
I guess the difference between just dating some people and then just having a sexual experience.
Yes, it's a difference between dating somebody exclusively and then having, going through them.
Not dating someone exclusive, like you have to date just one person. You can just date.
You can date multiple
Right,
people.
you can date multiple people.
Mom, I thought you were saying like it's dating.
There's a difference between dating multiple people and sleeping with multiple people.
Yeah, but that's the whole point of that though. Like, you want to
No, you don't have to sleep with everybody. I mean, dating is
not true. But certain women do want to.
And some women don't.
Women don't.
I guess that's maybe why they said singleness, not thoughting.
But
Marcus, everybody ain't how you did your stage, okay?
What you mean? A lot of people out there like me. What are you talking about? don't. Why are you trying to?
Everybody didn't try to sleep with everything they saw. Okay?
I didn't try to sleep with everything I saw. Okay?
Yeah, right. Don't just be honest, okay?
I wasn't.
Okay. Anyways.
Yeah, I'm not even finna go down that rabbit hole. But what I'm saying is, if you want to be single and date, then you should do that because now what you're doing is.
I think it's very important. Not to cut you off, but
I think it's very important.
Because they asked how important is it?
You think it's important to do what though?
I think it's important to explore your options before you try to
date.
To consider yourself in an exclusive relationship and trying to be all serious and I want to marry him. No, you probably don't.
Yeah, you definitely need to get to know yourself, but that's a process of getting to know yourself.
Yeah, getting to know yourself, getting to know what you like, what you don't like, what you can take and what you can't take. Because then a lot of people, while you in a relationship trying to figure it out, it's just not gonna work because what's gonna happen is that you're gonna be in that relationship. When you find out that you really don't want to be in that relationship, but you have the mindset, thinking that, oh, this is the person I'm supposed to be with because he's a quote unquote good guy or different than the people that I've dated in the past. Like, no. Leave that. It's better. Don't settle. If you feel like you're settling, you don't need to be in it.
Yeah, definitely don't settle. That shit whack. Settling, that shit is so over. That shit is
whack. Like you feel like you're settling, you feel like you can't be yourself. You don't need to be in that. You really don't. It's plenty. It's a lot of bad seeds and bad men out here, but it's a lot of good men out here too. So
it is a lot of. It's a lot of good men. It's a lot of good women.
And it's a lot of bad ones too.
Yeah. And you don't want to end up sleeping with a lot of bad ones because it'll cost you.
Know your worth.
Trust
once
and
you
believe.
know your worth, I mean, you attract the right people.
Yeah, that's true. It's the energy you put out there.
Once you have that confidence, in yourself, a lot of people gonna say that they can't bullshit you.
It's the energy you put out. If you want to put out that slutty, that,
carefree. I just want love. I don't care who it is or how it look.
Yeah, I mean, you went through it too, right? You was a thought too, right? I mean, right? You trying to talk about me being one.
We were talking about you. Okay?
You was a thought too, bro. So everybody go through their little thoughts. It's fine.
I had my moment.
Yeah, that's a big
and it
moment.
made me stronger.
Yeah.
As an individual.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
I'm glad that made
So now I know myself, I know my worth, and I'm not selling, okay? You hear that?
You not selling what?
For nothing.
Oh, you not settling?
Settling, right.
Oh, yeah, that's good. I'm glad that you not settling. I ain't settling either. I'm just saying.
That's good.
Well, like I say, I hope we, we answered those questions in a manner that she would love to receive those. Unanimous.
Oh my gosh, you just said that wrong.
Unanimous. I can't say that word. What is it?
You said
Anonymous.
it right. Okay,
Anonymous.
there you go.
Get
together, man.
Damn, you're not anonymous.
Okay.
I said it right.
Thank you.
No, I know how to say it.
Finally.
I'm trying to correct you.
Don't be trying to get mad because you wasn't saying it right.
I'm just whatever. They know what I meant.
Yeah.
But
they probably was like, "Yo, dumbass boy."
They probably is like, "Boy, they goofy as hell. Boy, what are you doing? What are you even talking? What are you talking about?"
Right.
Goofy as hell.
Get it together.
Whatever. I got it. Well, I appreciate you for coming on again, Miss Meeks, Mrs. Meeks. Mm-hmm. Is your uncle cousin whatever you remember to do remember Lights Camera Action the song? Sorry, Miss Jackson. You know what I'm saying? You remember the song? You remember that song?
Oh my! Could you just cut it off?
Well, I thank you for tuning in, man. Thank y'all for listening to the Food for Thought podcast, man. Where authenticity and dope content is a must. Y'all take care.